Thank you again. We have received some beautiful question. Someone asked, Aziz sir, every session, every morning, we hear you say, Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Hussaini Hazar Imam, and then you say something which we don't understand. You say Tawfiq, Ta'id, Himmat wa Yari. What does that mean? Tawfiq, Ta'id, Himmat wa Yari. So here is the English translation of that. If Imam gives us the strength, Tawfiq, inspiration, Ta'id, courage, Himmat, and finally friendship, Dosti. That is the prayer that this Garib and Nachiz has to do every time we begin a session. Without Imam's help, Wallah, I am nothing, I cannot do anything, I cannot speak, I cannot teach, I cannot be here in front of you. It is Imam's Tawfiq, strength, Imam's Tahid, inspiration, Imam's courage, Himmat, and truly Imam's friendship, Dosti, that we are able to do what we are able to do. So I wanted to admit I am nothing and nobody, Garib and Nachid. It is Imam's ilm and Imam's help that we are able to do what we are doing every week. So thank you for asking question. I did laugh for a minute when someone asked, but it was a valid question, and thank you for paying attention. Remember this dua. This dua can help you as it has helped me always. Without this dua, I'm not able to do anything. Let's come to our first question. And that is, all right, so as we talked about on the top, someone asked, if parents are vegetarian, how would a rational soul will enter and develop? I don't understand the question. What does vegetarian has to do with our development as a rational soul? Maybe that person is asking that how will we get an animal soul? If that's the question, then let's make the question correct. If my parents are vegetarian, how would a child will have animal soul in him? You may be a vegetarian. Listen to this very carefully. First, I wanted to tell you there is no bad question. All questions are good. If question is not correctly 100%, it is my job to fix the question and then give you the answer. If our parents are vegetarian and your question is how a child will develop an animal soul, that is a very good and valid question. Remember, the vegetation that you eat, it is not that vegetation has only one or two soul, but within the land, there are animal, there are birds, there are all kind of creatures who give themselves for the development of their vegetation. You see, even within the vegetation, there is the animal soul. And remember, you as a speaking human, you have Ruh and Natika, and you have an instinct, which both have come from animal soul. If your child has the instinct and your child is speaking, he or she has animal soul. Vegetarian has nothing to do with the development of the soul. Has nothing to do with it. Because our soul finds the way. Otherwise, a vegetarian, a Hindu, a Buddhist will never be able to speak and never will be able to save themselves because they will not have instinct. But we see they do have instinct and they do speak, which are the true attribution of the animal soul. So, my friend, being a vegetarian has nothing to do with developing animal soul. Anyway, that was a good question. I hope this helps. Second question, there is another allegory in one of the Kalami Imam Mubin, Farman, about khara pani, salted water, and mita pani, sweet water. I don't know if there was a comment or a question, but let's say this was a question. The water represents ilm. पानी इल्म की तरफ इशारा करता है. अगर इमाम खाली हमें खारा पानी और मीठा पानी, if imam is just telling us about the salted water and the sweet water, then it would make no sense. But imam is telling you something about, he's giving you or teaching you, guiding you something about two kind of ilm, the salted and the sweet. There are two kind of ilm. Our dais again, not this Garib and Nachis, our dais and our Arifin have explained the salted water and sweet water. And there are many interpretations of this. Salted water, in the first interpretation, is the ilm which will burn your inside. What will happen if you drink salted water? It will mess with your inner system. Ilm that messes with your concepts. Ilm that messes with your iman are considered to be salted water. And the ilm which pleases you, ilm which elevates you, ilm which gives you good iman, ilm-e-imam, the hakiki ilm is the symbol of sweet water. And what does sweet water do? Gives you a life. Just like that, a good ilm will give you a life of your soul. Just like a physical water gives you life physically, helps you. Just like that, a good ilm, sweet water, the sweet ilm will give you the life of your soul. So that is the one interpretation of the salted water and the sweet water. There are many other interpretations that our dais and Arifin have given us. Question number 3. What is the esoteric meaning of the unfolding and unfolding of the universe in the Quran? This question was asked yesterday, but yesterday we were talking about the Faramin, so we had moved forward to today. And thank you for asking question. There is the concept of folding and unfolding. लपेटना और फैलाना. खुदा फरमाता है कि मैं हर चीज को लपेट लेता हूं और फैला देता हूं. Allah says that I fold everything and I spread everything out. We talked about that actually just early in the session this morning. How we were all folded into the frozen soul. How we were unfolded in the world of particle. How we were unfolded in the world of soul, Ruh. How we are unfolded in the world of humanity. And then when we die, we will be folded again. So that is the concept of folding and unfolding, but it is in cycle, is not on a linear line. आप समझ गए कि ये एक सीधी लकीर पर नहीं है, ये एक दायरे में है. Folded, unfolded, again folded, unfolded. It is a complete circle. We are from Imam soul, folded. We are in the human form, unfolded. We will go back to the Imam, folded. That is the meaning of unfolding and folding. If you need more explanation, clarification, please ask again. Inshallah, with Imam's Tawfiq Tahid, we will be able to answer further. My sister is asking, we talked about majalis in one of our sessions a few weeks ago, and we talked about the service, the khidmat, the seva, which is offered through different majalis. अब जानते हैं कि हमारी जो मजालिस है वो हमारी सेवा, हमारी खिदमत, हमारी ऑफरिंग है इमाम ज़मान के लिए. There is only one majlis, the Chandra majlis, which is compulsory and required in our tariqah. All other majalis, including Baitul Khiyal, is not required, not compulsory. But a moment with the love of the Imam for the need of the progression. तमाम मजलिस चांद्रास की मजलिस के अलावा फर्ज नहीं है हम पर, लेकिन एक मोमिन इमाम के प्यार में अपनी रूह की प्रोग्रेशन के लिए, एलिवेशन के लिए ये खिदमत और ये कुर्बानी पेश करता है. So remember two words, खिदमत and कुर्बानी, the service and the sacrifice, ये two words. That is the essence of the majalis, all the majalis. Baitul Khiyal, let's take from there. You give kurbani of your sleep and your time so your soul may progress. Baitul Khiyal की मजलिस में आप कौन सी कुर्बानी देते हैं? अपने वक्त की और अपने नींद की, ताकि आपकी रूह बुलंद मकाम पर पहुंचे. 5 साल, the service and the khidmat and the kurbani of 5 years. 12 साल, 12 year. It used to be a two different majlis, 5 year and 12 year. So first, the Jamaat offered 5 year of khidmat to Mullah. When they reached that, they said we wanted to give another 7 year of the khidmat. And that became 5 saal, 12 saal. You can give 5 year or you can give 12 year. 12 year of khidmat, seva and qurbani. Then fidai. As a fidai, you should always be ready to give your life for the Imam. For the Imam. Imam says in his Farman for the Fidai Majlis that you should be ready. There may be a day when I would ask you for a service, and in which there is a chance you would not come back alive. You may lose your life. As a Fidai, when you enroll, if you don't understand that concept, And I'm sorry to say that you just lost your $5,000, 5,000 rupiah, whatever the cost of the Fidai Majlis is. Don't just give 5,000 to enroll in Fidai Majlis. Understand your niyat. Understand what you are enrolling yourself with, so you can benefit from that Majlis. Because just giving the money and not understanding how you're going to have a good niyat. Remember, the intention is very important when it comes to the service. If you are giving something without understanding, where is the intention? अमाल का दारोमदार नियत पर है. Your service depends on your intention. आप पहले अंडरस्टैंड करें, उसके बाद मजलिस के अंदर इनरोल हो, so you can benefit from it more, and you will be ready to give the life if and when Imam asks. Otherwise, just giving the money does not solve a problem. It is just giving something without understanding. So understand. Nurani Majlis. In the Nurani Majlis, one important part, if you are not doing ibadat, if you are not working on the progression of your soul, and you are enrolling yourself in Nurani Majlis, so you can go to Jamaat Khana with a suit and tie and wear a good sari to go to Nurani Majlis and feel good about yourself that I'm in a Nurani Majlis. Remember, an intellectual, the people with the ilm, we don't do anything just for the fashion. Just because my brother is in Nurani Majlis, my sister is in Nurani Majlis, my friends are in Nurani Majlis, my neighbors are in Nurani Majlis, and I look bad if I'm not in Nurani Majlis, so I wanted to be in Nurani Majlis. Don't do that. Nurani Majlis, the bottom line, the essence, the reason of the Nurani Majlis was to receive the Noor. And for that, you must do ibadat. If you cannot do ibadat, if you are not doing ibadat, and then you are enrolling in Nurani Majlis, how would that help you? Because the question is, how would it help me in our Ruhaniyat? All of the majalis, seva and kurbani, ये तमाम मजलिस का जो एसेंस था, वो इमाम की खिदमत और इमाम के लिए कुर्बानी था. पैसे देकर, अच्छे कपड़े पहनकर जमात खाना जाने का मतलब नहीं था. It was never about getting dressed and looking good and going to Jamaat Khana. It was not the purpose of this majalis. Our forefather, when they requested this majalis, they would go to Imam and say, we wanted to give you a seva. We wanted to kurban ourselves for you, Mola Baba. We will give you 5 years of service, 5 years of kurbani. Are we giving 5 years of kurbani? If not, what is the use of this majlis? Are you trying to progress your soul? Otherwise, what is the use of Nurani Majlis? Our forefather understood that. And then they went to Malawpa and requested all this majalis. You know, this majalis is not first. We asked for it. Our forefather asked for it. So when you are in this majalis, understand the purpose of this majlis so you can progress. It has to be the bottom line, the progression of your soul. क्योंकि अगर हम ये नहीं समझते हैं तो फिर इन मजालिस का क्या फायदा? हाँ, ये मजालिस हमारी रूह की तरक्की के लिए है. अदरवाइज खामा खाई नहीं है ये. The next question is a very big question, but let's try to understand. So yesterday we talked about, or when someone asked, can we come back in this world again as a human? If you give me permission and if you forgive me, I'm asking for your forgiveness ahead of time. अगर आप मुझे इजाजत दें और अगर आप मुझे माफ करें, मैं आपको थोड़ा सा जोल्ट करना चाहता हूं, शेक करना चाहता हूं. I wanted to wake you up. Please, इस awakening के अंदर आपको कुछ तकलीफ होती है तो मैं एडवांस में उसके लिए माफी चाहता हूं. क्यों हमको इतना शौक है कि हम बार बार दुनिया में आए और बार बार इस दोज़ख से गुजर कर जन्नत में जाने की फिक्र करें? पहले मैं उर्दू में एक्सप्लेन कर लूं, then I will explain in English, because this is very important that you should get awake. आप जाग जाएं और मैं आपको हिलाना चाहता हूं, जगाना चाहता हूं, और इसमें थोड़ी तकलीफ भी होगी जिसके लिए मैं माफी चाहता हूं. क्यों हमको बार बार दुनिया में आकर इस दोज़ख से गुजरना है? क्योंकि दुनिया तो एक दोज़ख के मानिंद है, एक हार्डशिप, एक लेबर कैंप है. क्यों हमको बार बार इस दुनिया में आकर ये मेहनत करनी है ताकि हम इमाम की रूह के अंदर एक हो? क्या आपको रीइंकार्नेशन का बहुत शौक है और आपको दुनिया में बार बार आना है? इसलिए आप ये सवाल पूछते हैं कि मैं क्या करूं, मैं क्या जतन करूं कि मैं बार बार इस दुनिया में आऊं और बार बार मैं इमाम की तरफ जाऊं. क्यों हमको इस दोज़ख से गुजरना है, इस तकालीफ से गुजरना है, इस हार्डशिप से गुजरना है? Let me tell you this part in English. Do we want to come back into this world, into this hell, into this hard labor camp again and again? Do we want to do that? Are we so desperate to be reincarnation every time and every day? We die and we become human again. We die and we become human again. Do we want to do that? Do we like to be in this hell? क्योंकि इमाम ही का फरमान है कि ये दुनिया तो एक दोज़ख की मानिंद है. This world is an example of hell, a labor camp, a hardship. Why do we want to come to this world so badly? We love to have being reincarnation every day. अब मैं आपको हिलाना चाहता हूं. I wanted to awake you. This ayat in front of you tells you that if you are a buzurg soul, an elevated soul, then Allah will send you back with your free will. And in the middle, if you are not elevated soul, and if you do want to come back to this world, you have to regain the free will. The free will is with us when we are living in this world, and free will be with you when we are at the highest level, when our soul will become buzrug, elevated, then the free will be given back to you. Until then, once you die physically, there is no free will for you to come back to this world until you regain that free will. Once you regain that free will, and if you wish, and Imam gives you the permission, yes, you can come back to this world. But why do we want to come back to this world? And their question says, so I can do ibadat bandagi. Why don't you do the ibadat bandagi today? मैंने कहा ना कि मैं आपको हिलाना चाहता हूं, मैं आपको गुस्सा नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं सिर्फ आपको जगाना चाहता हूं. I'm not mad at you for asking this question. I wanted to awaken you. Why do you want it to pass away, die, and then come back and finish your ibadat? How about we finish our ibadat in this lifetime? How about we finish our ibadat today? Why don't we believe in Imam's mercy? क्यों ना हम इमाम की रहमत के ऊपर भरोसा करें कि अगर हमने इबादत पूरी भी नहीं की, even if we don't finish the ibadat in this world, how about we believe in his mercy and say to Mola Bapa, if there is a shortcoming in my ibadat bandagi, please give me your rahmat, your khanavadan, your blessing, hold my hand and pull me with you. How about that? चले अब हम कुछ रहमत की बात करते हैं, कुछ अच्छी बात करते हैं ताकि आपका दिल खुश हो जाए, आपका दिल शादमान हो जाए. How about we talk about some happy thoughts? How about we say that I believe in Imam's mercy, and if I cannot finish my ibadat this time around, Imam is my spiritual father. He is most merciful. He will bless me. He will hold my hand and he will accept whatever I have done, maybe a little, but he will accept and he will take me into him and he will make me Fanafi Imam. How about this thought? आपने देखा कि मैंने क्यों चाहा आपको उठाना, जगाना? Do you see? I wanted to awake you. I wanted to tell you there is a good tidings. There's a good news for us that Imam is our spiritual father. Don't wish to come back to this hell. Say to yourself, believe, ईमान रखें इमाम की मर्सी के ऊपर. Believe in Imam's रहमत. Believe in his khanavadan. Believe it. He is your spiritual father. Your father will never let you go. He will hold your hand and he will pull you up. Beautiful question, no doubt. And I hope this answer have given you a jolt and have awakened you. मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप इस जवाब से हिल गए होंगे और अब कभी भी ऐसी ख्वाहिश नहीं करेंगे कि हम इस दुनिया में वापस आए. हाँ, अगर बुजुर्गी मिल जाती है और इमाम अगर आपको बेचते हैं, why not? If Imam wants to send you back, let him make that decision. Let him give you the service if he wants to. But do not wish from here to come back so quickly, because this place is not a Jannat. Jannat is with Imam. Very good question. I have one quick question because we have already answered this question, but I quickly will review it and then we can open the floor for the other question if anybody wanted to have a comment or questions. The very last question. I have a question from your research session. You talked about the first slide, need more knowledge on the okay. So this is a very large question actually. So if you give me permission, I would like to keep this question for next week because this can be a whole session. We will take this as our ilmi session in the front because it will take more than 20, 30, 40 minutes to explain. And we will keep this along with it. All right, so we will stop here because next two questions are very, very large questions, which will require over 30, 40 minutes. Ji Nevin Sahiba.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Sir, kuch sawalat hain. How are thoughts and soul connected?
How our thoughts and souls are connected? Very good question. अच्छा, तो सबसे पहले हम आए हमारा जो जिस्म है उसकी रूह, उसकी जिंदगी हमारी रूह की वजह से है। हमारा जो ये जिस्म है उसकी जान हमारी रूह है। हमारी रूह की जान क्या है? That's the question this person is asking. How is our thought and our soul is connected? As our physical body and our soul are connected, the life or the jaan of our physical body is our soul. हमारा जिस्म की जान हमारी रूह है। हमारी रूह की जान हमारा इंटेलेक्ट है। The soul of our soul, the life of our soul is intellect. Because intellect is the life of the soul and the soul is the life of the body, therefore they are all connected to each other. Our body is connected to our soul is connected to our intellect, and therefore our thought and our soul has a direct connection as our body and our soul has a connection. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, sir. Next question hai, is there a relationship between carnal soul and animal soul? Is it the same?
Another good question. Another good question. You can say that they are one and the same. You can say that. So let me tell you a little bit different about carnal soul and animal soul. Initially, you can say, yes, they are one and the same. But there is a few minute, very little bit different between carnal soul and animal soul. As you can see, animal soul also have a good attribution. What are the two good attribution of animal soul? Instinct and speak. We need animal soul for the instinct to save ourselves. Without instinct, we will not be able to safeguard ourselves from the danger. And the second is speaking soul, which is part of the animal soul. Without that, we will not be able to talk. So there are two good attribution of animal soul. The carnal soul, which is normally equal to animal soul. The other attribution of the animal soul are equal to carnal soul, meaning eat, act like animal, bark, harm other human, sleep extensively. Bark extensively meaning talk without a reason extensively. That is the animal attribution. There are many bad animal attribution which equals to our carnal soul. On top of that, carnal soul is also the attribution of shaitan. The carnal soul teaches us, or carnal soul tells us that do this bad thing and it is good for you. That's what carnal soul does to you. For example, दुनिया की लालच, the greed of the world. Carnal soul tells you the greed of the world is good for you. Carnal soul tells you that if you lie a little bit, you'll be okay. Carnal soul teaches you, if you miss the dua, if you miss your dasan, you miss your good deeds, it'll be okay. But Imam have given you a rational soul, an angel, a conscience who tells you that do not listen to your carnal soul. Let me tell you what is good or bad, but the free will is yours. So your conscience, your angel, tells you, so whenever you give chance to your carnal soul, and when carnal soul says, go ahead, do that, your good angel tells you, your conscience, that hey, that is not good, don't do it. But at the end, your intellect, your free will, who do you want to listen to? Your carnal soul or your angel? Who do you want to listen to? That is up to you. Good question. Thank you.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, it's a beautiful answer. Ici se related question follow-up hai. Can you reduce carnal soul by being vegetarian? But Sultan Muhammad Shah said not be like Indian, not to eat meat.
No. 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 If a vegetarian could kill your carnal soul, then you will never find a Buddhist, a Hindu, a vegetarian killing each other, harming each other. Have you not seen a greedy vegetarian? Have you not seen a bad vegetarian? No, this question is not valid. No, that is an incorrect thought. G.
Okay. Next question is, how do you know that you have reached last destination?
Oh, you will know. You will know without any doubt. Listen to just recently Imam's Farman. Just Diamond Jubilee, 2-3 years ago. And many Farman before that. That when this happiness touches your heart, when this nur comes to you, when you have this light, you will have no doubt in your mind what you have. That's what Imam says. Now, explanation in detail would be, or the question would be, and we will cover that in our question of the light, because there are steps and steps and steps of the steps. The first light is not the final light. The second light is not the final light. But each time you progress, and if you have a ilm, condition, requirement, and if you have a ilm, you will know. The answer to your question is, if you have a ilm, and as you receive the first light, the second light, as you progress, you will know. And if you are talking about the final Fanafi Imam, because you will have the complete marifat, understanding, recognition of your soul, of the Imam, you will never have this question, how would I recognize, or how would I know, or would I know? You will know, because you are one with the Imam, and when you are one with the Imam, there is no curtain, there is no veil. You will know everything. Everything, not only where you are, you will know everything. Complete marifat. G.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Next question, what happens if you develop neurological problems, then how you develop your soul? So it seems like later in life, if you have medical problems.
Ji. Another good question. As an Ismaili, as a good human, if you have lived your life with ethics of Islam, a conscious human being, and if you have done what you were supposed to do during your lifetime. So this question also can be taken, what about a child is born without the conscience? So there can be a question there. But if you have lived your good life, and at the end, you develop some kind of neurological issues or problem, then remember, it is not you anymore. You have developed something and you are not able to do anything after that. Mola will accept all your good deeds up until that point of your life. Having said that, I'm going to give you another good tidings, another good news. If you develop some kind of disease at a certain age, and if you keep patience, be a good human, that hardship that you will endure for 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 years at the end of your life, Allah will take that hardship and will convert that into your good deeds. How would you like that good news? अगर ये उर्दू स्पीकिंग पर्सन है, अगर आपने जिंदगी में अच्छे काम किए हैं इससे पहले कि आप बीमार हो जाते हैं और ऐसा कोई इश्यू हो जाता है कि अब आप इबादत नहीं कर सकते हैं, आप सोच नहीं सकते हैं, आप अच्छे काम नहीं कर सकते हैं, you are completely paralyzed, you're not able to do anything anymore. Whatever जो भी आपने आज तक किया है, इमाम उसको कबूल कर लेगा, आप उसकी रहमत पर भरोसा करें। और जितना साल आप आखिर के अंदर बीमारी के अंदर गुजारेंगे और सब्र करेंगे और शुक्र करेंगे, उसको भी इमाम आपके अच्छे कामों के अंदर गिन लेगा। ये आपके लिए एक गुड न्यूज है। सो डोंट वरी अबाउट कि आखिर में क्या होगा। बिलीव इन इमाम्स मर्सी, बिलीव इन इमाम्स मर्सी, ईमान रखें, यकीन रखें जी।
Ameen. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Next question is about the levels of rational soul. How does the progression take place, particularly the one to think about others? Do we have within us to develop, or it's dependent on Allah's grace?
It is upon you to develop. You see people around you who only care for themselves. What do we call them? Selfish. You know why they are like that? Because they never thought of others. They know what is right. It's not that they don't know. Those selfish people, they know that is the wrong thing to do, but they choose with their free will to be selfish. Me, me, me. That is their motto. So what do? They stay in their first level. Then there are second level. They say, me and my children, me and my parents, me and my family. I don't care for Jamaat, I don't care for anybody else. But they know that that is not a right thing to do. They know it. But they choose with their free will to stay at that level. Allah has given you intellect and a free will. Allah has given you same intellect and same free will as He has given to others who care for others, who have chose to care for others. It is up to you. A good parent, our teacher used to tell us that instead of telling your child that when you grow up and if you have education, you're going to make a lot of money and you're going to be rich and you're going to have everything in your life. Instead of teaching that to your children, how about you teach them, if you take the education, you will be a good human. Everything else, the money, the seat, the influence will come with it. Will come with it. Teach your children to be a good human. That is giving them the third rational soul. Teach them about that. Make them aware of this third rational soul. Look at Imam. Imam is working for everybody. Look at good people around us. They are working for everybody. They are not selfish. They are not selfish. Do not stay on the first level. Do not be selfish. Do not stay on the second level. To care about my children, but I don't care about your children. That is not good. Because as the murid of the Imam, you're supposed to follow on the footstep of the Imam. And what does Imam do? He cares for all. So what you should do? Care for all. That is a habit you can develop. Just by thinking, you can develop. Have a soft spot in your heart for others as you do for yourself and your children. जी.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Sir, एक related question है, अगर आप इसको साथ ले लेते हैं तो. Is nafs lawwama the same as rational soul?
Nafs lawwama, you can say that. देखिए, nafs amara is the carnal soul. Nafs lawwama is the soul that guides you. So you can say rational is the one that guides you. So you can rationalize. So nafs lawwama के बहुत सारे अलग-अलग नाम हैं. There are different names of nafs lawwama. Rational soul is one of them. Imam's soul is also called nafs lawwama because Imam is the one who guides you within you. So now we have two names for nafs lawwama: your rational soul and Imam's soul. There's another name for nafs lawwama, and that is angelic soul. Remember that angel on your right shoulder? That is also your nafs lawwama. जी.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Sir, question hai related to niyaz. That I have been told that the niyaz after the gatpat uthapan happens has different meaning to it.
Actually, that has to do with ill concept and incomplete knowledge. Please listen to the lectures on Gatpat within the Jamaat Khana Shanasi. But because you have asked the question, Niyaz is a Niyaz and Niyaz is a Niyaz. Why otherwise you will bring a Niyaz ki piyali to your home for your children, for your family, if it did not have the same meaning? Logical. That's not logical thinking. That's not intellectual thinking. That's why Nachi said that is the ill concept, that is the short of knowledge. When we don't have a complete knowledge, when we don't have a complete understanding, we say and think illogical things. Again, to remind you, don't we bring Niyaz ki pyali for our children in the bottle? Don't we bring niyaz at home? If there was no meaning or different meaning, then why would we do that? No. Niyaz, Abe Shafa is Abe Shafa. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. There is a comment by Dr. Saib. Our peer says that 5 attributes of carnal soul are calm, krodh, moh, lobh. Similarly to the angelic attributes are sat, saburi, kamiya, and iman, according to our peer's teaching. So I thought I should share.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. That is perfectly good comment. Thank you.
Another question is, can you talk about your fanafillah to public? As far as I know, we cannot explain that situation verbally. Please explain.
Very good question. For that, listen to some of the Ginan's explanation Nachiz and Garib has done in the past. Yes and no to your question. No, you cannot explain. Yes, you can explain. How can that both be right? Look at all of the Ginans. Ginans are the explanation of our peace, Rohaniyat. What are the Ginans? Ginans are the explanation of our peace, Rohaniyat. If Arifin, peace, and Dais could not explain their Rohaniyat, then how we Garib and Nachiz will ever learn about the Rohaniyat? You see, when a Momin receives the great Rohaniyat, the great knowledge of the Imam, Imam also gives him 2 things. Amr, to speak about, and the vocabulary to talk about it without you knowing that he is giving you the knowledge of his Ruhaniyat. He does not come out and say, hey, let me share my Ruhaniyat with you. He will not do that. He will use such a language, such a vocabulary, and he will share his Ruhaniyat with you without you knowing that he is sharing his Ruhaniyat. If he did not, and no one in this world would share their Ruhaniyat with others, how will we learn? How would we know what's on the other side? How would we know where our soul has come from? How would we know where our soul is going? How would we learn? You see, Arifin, Hujatan, Dais, they do that every day without telling you, without you knowing, but they're doing it every day. So if you don't have a permission, the Amr, if Imam has not given you the vocabulary to share, then the answer is no. If Imam has given you the Amr, Imam has given you the vocabulary, the answer is yes. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Sir, there are no more questions in the chat, but in one of the friend wants to ask question. Shiraz Saib, you can unmute and ask your question, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yali, sir.
Yali Madad.
Sir, एक youngster ने सवाल पूछा है, तो I thought I can ask you and then answer him. He said when somebody passes away, then we say कि मोलाएंगे ये रूह के असल में वासल करे, yeah. And then sometimes we also, he told me, you write to them that he's in heaven, resting in peace. What is the difference between asal and wasal, to explain to him resting in peace? Because Sultan Muhammad Shah said, heaven is also like a pinjaro for you, isn't it? I mean, can you just differentiate between asal mein wasal and rest in heaven?
Okay, resting in peace. Not resting in heaven. Okay, I
Yeah.
understand your question. Very good question. And this is to your young friend.
Yes, sir.
Asal mein wasal is at the level on the clock number 12 or number 1. The number 1 on your clock on the journey of your soul, number 1 is asal mein wasal. That is the place where our soul rests in peace. Why does it rest in peace? Because he made it to the origin, asal, and that's where we call asal mein wasal. All the other steps between 6, 5, 4, and 3, the bottom of the 3, is the journey. And that is what Jannat is. Even though you are in Jannat, but you are still in the prison. Where is the prison? Between 6, 5, 4, and the bottom of the 3. Why bottom of the 3? Because on the bottom of the 3 and the downward, there is no light and there is no didar. On the top of number 3, the light opens, the eyes open, and then you have the didar of the Imam, didar of the Nur. From 6 to 3 and top is the journey in the heaven, which is like a prison. But once you are on top of it, where you have the didar of the Imam, your soul elevates very, very fast from 3 to 2 and become asal mein wasal. When we pray for a Rohani, we are asking Mola Baba to please make this soul journey easy from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3. Please make it easy. And elevate his soul quickly. Do not take 50,000 years to elevate this soul. Please forgive him. Please make it easy. Please elevate his soul faster. Sifarish, recommendation, asking. And when the soul gets on top of it, and then there is still a journey, right? Between 3 and 2 and 1. 1 is the place where the soul rests in peace because he has become asal mein wasal. Ji.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. There are no more questions, sir. Wonderful session. A lot of comments about it.
Shukr alhamdulillah. It all belongs to Imam Zaman. Thank you, friend. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your good question. Nevin, thank you for your help. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Thank you, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Thank you, sir. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Bye.
Mola bless you.
Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Yali Madad. Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Aziz. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.